You can now build powerful apps simply by speaking to the most powerful AI coding agent within a tool called Cursor, and I've been doing this for months. All it took was Karpathy, one of the world's best developers, to start talking about vibe coding. Karpathy worked at Tesla on self-driving, and he also worked at OpenAI when they were building ChatGPT. He said the following about a new type of coding. He said this: there is a new kind of coding that I call vibe coding, where you fully give in to the vibes. You embrace exponentials and forget the code even exists. It's possible because LLMs, using Cursor with Claude 3.5 Sonnet, are getting too good. Also, he just talks to Composer with a speech-to-text tool called Super Whisper, and so he barely touches the keyboard. He just talks to the Cursor agent within Composer. I just see stuff, say stuff, run stuff, copy and paste stuff, and it mostly works. And this is not exaggeration. Today, I'm going to talk about how you can go from never writing a line of code, hopping into Cursor, and building a really cool app that has multiple AI features. Within a year, everyone might be a senior developer by today's terms, because all you'll have to do is ask for what you want and you will get it. And so today, we're going to be doing a full in-depth guide on how to get started vibe coding, what tools you need, what vocab you need to learn, things like run locally, database, authentication, code base. These are all just vocab terms you need to give to Composer every once in a while. I have been doing this for the past 6 months straight. It's incredibly addicting, so beware. Once you get to your aha moment and you see that AI can kind of build whatever idea you have in your brain, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I never want to stop doing this. That's just going to happen. I am sorry, because we're about to vibe code. So let's just dive straight into it, huh? Okay, vibe coding. There's two tools that you need to get started. The first one is, of course, Cursor. And Cursor is going to generate the code. It's going to edit the code. It's going to do everything. And within Cursor, we have Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which is still the best AI model right now for coding. And the second tool that we're going to need is WhisperFlow, and it is free. I'm still on the free plan. What WhisperFlow allows you to do is wherever I am typing, I can hold down the FN key on my Mac, and whatever I say right now will be immediately, maybe not immediately, but very, very close to immediately be entered directly into wherever my cursor is. You see that? And so it's a very fast speech to text. And Karpathy was using Super Whisper. I do know that I've had way better experiences with WhisperFlow, but I don't care which one you use. It doesn't matter that much. So I'm going to show you exactly how to get started. And so what we're going to do, so once you download Cursor, you're going to open up a new Cursor window. So here is a brand new Cursor window. And the hardest part about these projects is getting started. And so we're gonna start off from a starting point or a template. And it's basically like a blank Next.js app. This template now has over 25,000 forks. All you need to do to get started on Cursor is to click clone repo, and you're gonna paste in this link right here. I have it saved at the top of my clipboard manager, and here it is. Now what we're gonna do is we are just going to press enter. And now we're going to pick a place in our computer where this project will exist. And so we're going to hit new folder, and I'm just going to call this vibe code, yeah. And we're going to hit create. And we're going to hit select as repository destination, and we're going to hit open. And this is going to take that template, and there you go. It gets loaded right here on the side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the tool that Karpathy was talking about. We're going to press Command I. Now we're ready to go. The first thing that we need to do is I'm just going to say, with Super Whisper, run this locally. I want you to run this locally and get it set up on localhost. What it does is it allows me to see the app in a web view. So we can just press Agent, and we're going to press Enter. And it is just going to start coding. And here it says npm run dev. And you see this pop up here. We now have this link that says localhost :3001. We're going to press Command, click, and this should open up the template. This is our starting point. And so this is our little app. And this app comes with instructions to set up an AI chat app, AI image generation app, but ignore this for now. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna rip it a new one. And you're gonna use this as the homepage for your app. So let's go ahead. We're gonna go to ChatGPT. So let's say we wanna create a ChatGPT-like app. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this whole site. And what we're gonna do here is we are going to come back to Cursor. And then now we just pasted that in, and now we can speak to Composer again. I want to create an app that is a clone of ChatGPT. I want you to start from the template. Don't worry about any authentication or Google sign-in for now. What I want you to do is I want you to build a ChatGPT clone. We're going to use the ChatGPT API, and we are going to be making an app that uses the new O3 model. And I'm going to paste some documentation on how to get that set up. And I want you to fully clone this app. And so notice here on this site, it's centered vertically. I want you to make it like that. And then once I press enter, the input bar should go down towards the bottom of the app. And then the answers should stream from the top of the screen, just like ChatGPT does. This should literally be like ChatGPT. Also, I want you to make a sidebar that pops out just like ChatGPT does. These are the little 3 horizontal lines at the top left. I will paste my OpenAI API key in the env.local file. Okay, so I just created this prompt, and I think it is worth discussing. We did the first prompt, and this was a description of the app that we want. We're turning our template into the site that we want, and we're using an API. So we're using an API, and an API, the way that I think about this is like you have a humanoid robot. So you have this humanoid robot, and so this robot here, you want to create an app. And so you have this humanoid robot, and you get to say, create an app, dude, and it will just listen to you. And this humanoid robot, if you don't already realize, is Cursor, right? This humanoid robot is Cursor. And it's going to build you an app. And so it's building, and so this humanoid robot is going to build you a really cool Lego structure. And so it's going to like use Legos, and it's going to build you whatever Lego thing that you want. And this Lego thing that you're building is an app. It is an app. In order to build this, though, it needs pieces, and then it also needs instructions. So it'll need the pieces, and then it'll need instructions. And what I mean by this is it actually needs APIs, and it needs documentation. So it needs an API key and then a documentation, which are like instruction manuals. So when you build a Lego set, you need instruction manuals to build it. So you need to give the instruction manual to Cursor, and you also need to tell him what tools you're using so that Cursor can build it. And the more accurate, so like you want to make sure that you're choosing the right pieces or the right APIs, and you also want to make sure that you're giving it all of the relevant instructions. This is critical. And the best place to find this right here is Perplexity. So we're going to go to Perplexity. I have created a custom space, and it's called input output. So you put it in this format right here. All you type in, because it has custom instructions. So once we're at input output, we can say text, high quality AI outputs. This is very simple. This is ChatGPT. And so on Perplexity, we can basically, what we want to do is we want to be able to put in text, right? With ChatGPT, you type in text, and you get text out. And so therefore, Perplexity is like the OpenAI API stands out as the most reliable solution. And so here it is. But here it's using GPT-3 Turbo. And so we can actually just say, I want the relevant documentation for OpenAI's new O3 model. And I want you to include in this what parameters are allowed and are not allowed with this new model. I want the highest quality model. And again, we're just using our voice. and it's going to now give us the right code for O3. And the new OpenAI reasoning models have a little bit different, have different parameters. Like this stuff right here is different. Like I don't even want to get into it. It doesn't matter. So right now I am gathering the instructions to use the type of Lego piece, which is OpenAI's API key. But there's also another piece you need. While this is generating, I'm going to go to OpenAI Playground, I think is where you find it, or it's dashboard. I don't remember. You go to OpenAI platform. And so we're going to log in. And once you've logged in, okay, you're going to press settings, and then you're going to go to API keys, and you're going to generate a new API key here. Never show this to anyone, and it only shows it to you once. And this is basically a permission, the key to use the technology that the instructions allow, right? The documentations, you can either find the documentations on OpenAI docs, so you could just type in OpenAI docs, which are basically the instructions on how to use OpenAI. If you used a tool like Midjourney, that's an AI image generator. They don't have an API, but there's another one called Flux. If you wanted to use Flux, you would need to find the Flux documentation, and then you would need a Flux API key. And if you wanted to create AI video generation, you would need to do the same with Runway. Runway, you can get a Runway API key, and you need the instructions on how to use it, and then you give Cursor all of these instructions. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, we can go back to this right here, and here we go. It looks like it gave us all of the information to use O3 Mini, and it said supported parameters, reasoning low effort, unsupported parameters. This is exactly what we want. So we're going to copy this. We're going to go back to Cursor, and I'm going to paste this in right here. And can you please create an env dot, the file placeholder for me to put my API token. And so if you've never put your API key into an app before, it needs to go into a special file that keeps it safe. I can, in theory, as soon as I'm done with this, upload these. Wait, hold on. So it said, I noticed the code you shared was O3 minimal model, but I should point out that it appears to be hypothetical documentation. I swear to God, Claude. So this is absolutely the model you need to use. This model exists. Listen to the example I gave you. That is the model you're using. You have outdated information. You are using the example and everything that it says there to create this. You are not using 3.5 Turbo or GPT-4o. You are using the model that's in the documentation. And okay. And so what it should do is it's going to create this env.local file. And you'll see it pop up right here. This will keep your API tokens safe. So I'm going to paste my API key for OpenAI right here. I'm going to pause the video while I do it because you want to keep that safe. You want to keep it protected. And so your project, your API key will start with sk-proj, and you just paste it in right there. Keep it safe. And so notice how it's making changes to the code. Other than the env.local file, you don't really need to concern yourself with it. You just use Composer. We'll talk about editing code files later. And here it says, replace your API token, which I did. Restart the development server by pressing in npm run dev. And you can just press run, and it will run that in the server. And now it's running on localhost 3002. Let's see what the app looks like. We could get an error. It's very possible. All right. Wow, this looks very weird. So here's our app. How can I help you today? Medium, low, high. Send a message. I doubt this is going to work. Hello. Oh, it works. It looks horrible. What model are you? Are you sure? Are you a reasoning model? I'm a language model with integrated reasoning capabilities. So if we go up here and press the sidebar, we see that we have this sidebar here, but wow, it looks weird as hell. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, and I'm going to copy everything. We're going to go back to Cursor, and we're just going to paste this in and say, what the hell is going on here? I want you right now to make this a fully white site, just like the ChatGPT site. You have all these weird gradients going on. We're going back to basics. I want you to make it look exactly like this image. We can paste that in again. It should look exactly like this image at the beginning, and the initial input field should be vertically centered. Everything should be white, super clean. Keep it do the exact, literally clone this. And so now we're running it. And we can actually just sit here and watch as the changes are made to the app. Okay, it changed it to white. Okay, there we go. It edited this. Where did our, oh, there it is. So we still have that button. It's hidden up here. It's still coding. Finally, let's update the sidebar component. Nice. Okay, another really important tip. The longer this composer message gets, the worse it's going to perform. And unless you're in a task where all of the previous info that we've entered matters a lot for the next prompt, you want to constantly just create new composer chats, because that will make the context window smaller. The AI model takes in all of these words every single time you run an AI prompt, and the smaller that number is, the better it is. So the point is, just remember to go up here to this plus sign, press new, and then you're going to click on agent mode. You're going to make sure that you're still using agent mode, and we're going to run it again. And now what we want is, I am going to take a screenshot of this again. And I am going to screenshot this, and I am going to say everything that I want to change. Okay, this is the site. This is what it looks like now. You just changed the color, looks good. The sidebar pops out, but it doesn't push everything over like the ChatGPT one. The input field to start out should be vertically centered. Put it at the center of the app, and I want you to change what can I help you with, or what can I help with. That should become vibe code. So we can now run this, and we will await. Okay, there we go. Vibe code, we can send a message right here. We have this sidebar that pops out, and we can, please tell me about the latest in artificial intelligence research. Okay, we get this weird snappy thing that something went wrong. So we can press inspect. This is another hack. When you run into a problem, you can hit inspect and go to console, and we got this little error. So you're just gonna copy all this crap, and you're gonna paste it in, and I'm gonna say, when typing in a message, after I type in a message, the input field, it's centered at the beginning, but then it should drop to the bottom, just like ChatGPT does in many similar apps. It should drop to the bottom of the page, but it immediately failed. And so please fix it. It was working earlier before we remade everything. Do not change the model. It should always stay O3 mini. Okay, I think it's done. So what we can do here is we can say, tell me about artificial intelligence and how transformers work. I'm assuming that the formatting is going to be big, yeah, so terrible formatting. So this is really bad formatting. And so all we need to do here is we need to go like this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to screenshot this. We're going to say spacing is really good. However, I want this to be in proper, clean markdown format. That's very beautifully formatted, and I want you to download a React package that makes this look really good. Make sure it still streams as it comes out. Additionally, I want you to create a loading state. So as I enter a prompt, I want it to like show a little loading indicator. All right, I know the streaming's super messed up. The streaming is really messed up, actually. But this does look a lot better. When I haven't typed anything into it, that button should be a little wave animation, which will activate voice later. And then once I start typing, it should turn into an arrow that points up. It should be solid black at all times, no matter which type it is. So this is a really long prompt. Let's see how it does. Okay, it added, what the hell is going on, dude? No, what the fuck are you doing? Look at this. Literally nothing about what you did was right. God dang it, put it up. Actually, you know what? I think if it increased the spacing and put these in little pills, I don't think I would hate it, actually. Can you actually put those two buttons, the search and the research, can you put those in pills So it should just be like a black border, rounded edges around those buttons. And then when I press it, the text and the outline should turn blue. And it should have like a nice little glow to both of them when they're activated. You should be able to activate and deactivate them. So they're either on or they're off. Then also increase the spacing. So the lines that I'm typing in should be a little bit lower. There should be more space between where I'm typing in and where those buttons are. And then as I type, I want it to grow downward. I kind of like this format. So we can type hello. Let me see something here. What just happened? And so here, all right. That doesn't look too bad. So if we press search, it now lights up. Do the same on research. Tell me about the President of the United States of America. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, what if you wanted to save your project wherever it is? So right now, I want to basically save my project and upload it to GitHub. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to GitHub and I am going to create a repository. I'm gonna go ahead and make this one, for now, private. I may make it public. Vibe coding, and we'll hit create new repository. That's all we need to do. We just need to copy this link. I literally could say, commit this to a repo that I just created at this link. It is a private repo, and call it exactly what it's called here. We'll paste that link in, enter. All right, it's done. I've successfully initiated the Git repository, set up remote repository URL. Great. So it is done. So in theory, if we select this right here and then we refresh this page, we should see all of the files. So there it is. It is uploaded here. It is mostly TypeScript. And here we go. We now have our GitHub repo set up here. Our code is saved. So when ChatGPT's text is animating out, it's not as it has this nice glow out effect, and it just seems like it's just nicely gliding through the text. Can you please try and create that little illusion, please? Like that the text is gliding out peacefully, and there's this thing where I like that the screen follows the text as it's coming out, but I don't like how it's choppy. I want it to be smooth and beautiful, and don't overdo it. Don't change too much. Just make it elegant. I know you can do this. And while this is loading, let's go to Google Images. And what we're going to do in honor of Karpathy, let's go ahead and screenshot this. We're going to go to Canva, new square post. I'm going to paste this in. Background remover, circle frame. Let's go like this. We'll drag this onto here, a little border around it, just like that. And this is going to be the new icon. Let's download this PNG file. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to cursor. I just realized I don't think I exported it with the transparent background. I need to do that. And so now what we're going to do, we're going into this public folder. And I want you to please change the icon for the AI assistant. I'm going to put it in the public folder. And now what we're going to do, see, it got rid of this background. We're going to drag this into the public folder. And we're going to change this, rename, logo. And now we're going to make sure we click on logo. We're going to press Command S to save it. And we're going to type @logo.png. And we're going to, not only do I want this to be the chat, I also want this icon to be above vibe coding on the main homepage. And so now, all right. So now let's make it a little bit bigger. On the homepage where it shows above the title, please make it 50% bigger. And now let's test what it looked like. Markdown essay on Andrei Karpathy. I think it'll know who he is. Ooh, that kind of looks good. The way it kind of animates out around the markdown, right? Around this markdown, I want rounded edges around the edge, but I like it. It looks really good. Also, make the logo above the responses just a little bit bigger. All right, We're vibe coding. And so we can't really see his face here. Notice how these are like really blocky. I want there to be more room as I'm streaming it out. It's still chopped, like the screen like kind of flips up and down, and the text that's coming out actively is being covered by the input field. Don't change the input field. Rather, change the view, add spacing below after I enter my message, and it should come in from the top. So it should basically give more spacing for the animation to come down into the screen rather than extend into like the bottomless pit that feels like I can't even see the text stream out. You know what I'm saying here? Think about what I'm saying and then apply it. Don't take what I'm saying at face value, because I know I worded it poorly, but I think you understand the basic vibes of what I'm saying here. And so yeah, now it's like nicely rounded around the edges. On all of the AI responses, please put a copy button and a share button. The copy button should copy it to my clipboard. It's looking good. Make the border around this thicker, add icons to the search and research. And then also what I want you to do on the home page, I want you to put a little profile icon on the top right. Okay, nice. Please tell me what vibe coding means in an essay format with proper headings and stuff. Okay, nice. Looking good. Don't know why it has this. Now what I want you to do, I want to use real-time voice from 11 Labs. And so I want that little voice icon on the bottom right of that to be pressable when nothing has been typed in, and make it black. And if I press it, it should open up a fresh page with just the icon that we have on the home page. And I want to be able to speak to an AI in real-time voice and speak to an AI model. And I want to use the 11 Labs API for this. Here's some documentation. I want to add real-time voice with 11 Labs. Give me code examples for Next.js on how to do it. So we're going to just run this on Perplexity. I'm just going to copy all of this in here. I'm going to paste this documentation. I also had the 11 Labs. Here it is, actually. This is a Perplexity response. So I'm going to paste that in as well. Here is some documentation. You can use this as an example. I want to just be able to speak with one of these avatars. Please make it simple. I will paste my API key in the env.local file. All right. You should probably not have all these links in there. It could confuse it a little bit, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to go to 11 Labs. We're just going to type in 11 labs. And I believe we log in here. We should be able to get an API token. If we press on my name right here, we type in API keys, and we're going to just type new key, create API key. I'm going to pause it. And so it's done here. Now it needed to run this package. It suggested that I ran this package, so I literally just said, run this. And now it is running. We're going to pop out the terminal. I think we should be good. Let's see what happens. We cannot press this. Wait, I do not see where I can press the button to speak, to do the real-time voice input. What we're also going to do real quick is we need to go to use. Let's get a clip of him talking. We need to copy this link. Let's go to Downy. And this is a tool that lets you download things. Delete that, paste that in. Oh, and let's make this audio only. Cut MP3, MP3 cutter. We're gonna open a file. So we need just his voice.
It didn't foresee the bigness of the impact.
Drag this over just like this.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the author are aware of the impact that that paper would go on to have. Probably they weren't. A computer that you proposed. And maybe they didn't have all of that foresight, but I think it's really interesting.
Isn't it funny?
Okay, so we just need that part right here. We're going to save this. Save. So we have that new audio. We can go to 11 Labs agent. Call this vibe coding and agent voice. Go to voices, add new voice, instant clone, upload audio, that same audio that we just did, Vibe, Karpathy. I hereby confirm that I have all necessary rights, even though I don't. Voice is going to be Viber Karpathy. We will save that. Okay, I need that voice ID. Okay, so let's try this out. Huh.
Hello there.
Hey, what's up? What have you been up to?
Greetings, fellow traveler in the digital realm. I've been immersed in the ethereal flow of vibe coding, my friend. You know, that transcendent state where the boundaries between coder and code blur into a cosmic dance of creation. Lately, I've been speaking whispers of inspiration into the void.
All right. Listening to me. Hey, listen to me. Chill for a sec, bro.
My apologies, I got carried away there. You're right, I should listen more. What's on your mind? I'm here to hear you
I'm
out.
trying to vibe code, man. I'm using Cursor Composer. It's kind of fun. I've been using AI to code. I've just been speaking out my mind into Cursor, and I've been building this app.
That's awesome. Vibe coding with Cursor Composer is indeed a game changer. It's liberating to just speak your ideas and watch them materialize into code, isn't it? What kind of app are you building? I'm curious to hear about your experience.
It's a ChatGPT clone called Vibe Code. Okay, so here's what we've got so far with Vibe coding. We can say, what is React Native? Please tell me in detail. And our AI assistant will just tell us. And so we are using the new OpenAI model here. We can copy this. We can also chat with our vibe coding assistant. Hey, what have you been up to recently?
Greetings, fellow seeker of digital enlightenment. Recently, I've been immersing myself in the ethereal realm of vibe coding. I've been speaking my desires into the void, watching as AI transforms my whispered intentions into tangible digital realities. It's quite the journey, my friend.
Are you listening to me right now? Do you use a certain app to code with AI?
Oh, my apologies for getting carried away in the vibes. I'm absolutely listening, and I'm thrilled you find it cool. To answer your question, I typically use Cursor Composer with Sonnet for my vibe coding adventures. It's a potent combination that allows me to speak my code into existence using Super Whisper. But remember, the specific tool matters less than the mindset. The key is to surrender to the flow and let the AI augment your creativity. What's your experience with AI-assisted coding? Have you dipped your toes into these?
I've been doing it for 6 months now. I've been using AI to code. I've just been building it, and I just take a GitHub repo. You can just find all these cool GitHub repos, and you just paste it in a cursor, and then you start from that point. You tell it to run it locally, and you're off to the races, and you can just vibe and code like I created you right now.
Wow, that's fantastic. You're truly embracing the essence of vibe coding. Starting with existing GitHub repos as a foundation is a brilliant approach. It's like standing on the shoulders of digital giants, then letting your imagination...
Okay, all right, I get it. And yeah, so that's what you can do with a little session vibe coding. And you can easily get started with a template, and then you can see where it takes you. And over time, the more you vibe code, the more you learn about different APIs, the more you learn about common errors. You know how to prompt it when you get specific errors. And we didn't even add a database to this. We could actually add a database, but I'm getting tired. We added Karpathy in as a little voice agent using the 11 Labs API. Please create an essay on how to use Perplexity to help you code by getting API docs from it. And we made it look like, I think it's a pretty clean interface, if I'm being honest, if I don't say so myself. And we can copy, yeah, we just created this by vibe coding. Anyway, thanks for watching.